Hey guys, I'm here to talk to you about Nano, in particular April Nano, which is Camp Nano. So, what we're going to talk about today and what I'm going to try and cover is a system that I used last year for Nano, and I'm going to go into very brief detail about that. I'm going to link you guys to all the videos that I made last year in the down bar, because I don't want this video to go on too long, and if you would like a more in-depth video on my thought processes in each topic, then you can go and watch those. They're roughly about 15 minutes each, longer than that. I go into, like I said, I go into a lot of detail about that, but a lot of people have said that those videos really help them with Nano, and I would like to offer you guys the opportunity to watch them, and hopefully they'll help you with Camp Nano. Okay, so a little bit about Camp Nano. Camp Nano, I believe, is being held in April and July this year, and it is where you set your own goal for writing a novel, and I believe now they're actually allowing people to write scripts as well, which is fantastic. So if you're don't have the time or don't really feel like writing a novel, you can write a script, or if script writing is more of your thing, you can express that through Camp Nano. Okay, so basically, you can pick any word count. So this year I'm going to start off with 10k, since it's not November, it's April. So I like to start off really small in April and then build off that. For me, in like the camps, I like to set smaller goals because a lot of the time I haven't been writing as much as usual, or I have been, or I'm working on other stories at the same time. So camp is really a way to introduce you to Nano if you've not done it before, to get some practice in, or if you're a full-time Nanoer, or if you love Nanowrimo in November and you kind of want to just have more writing time, give it a go again, or just sort of practice. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Basically, you do get put into cabins. It's like a virtual camp, I guess. You get put into cabins. I think there was a time when you could actually pick people who are going into your cabins too. I'm not sure if that's the cutoff point for that has ended, but I've already been put into a cabin with a bunch of strangers, which is fantastic because it means I get to meet new people that are all doing the same thing as me, and it's fantastic. I love it. I did it last year in August. I think I got 15k done. I didn't finish anything, but I felt good about running 15k. So this video is already at 3 minutes, so I'm going to try and make it short and sweet. The tip that I would suggest when you are going to Nano and when you are starting Camp Nano is to pack your bags for Nano. And these are the following things that I would definitely put in my bag, and they pretty much cover the topics spoken in my prompts exercises, or prompts, prompt method. And when I mean prompts, I just don't mean writing prompts. I'll go through that in a second. Okay, so basically in my bag, which would be my camp bag here, ain't not gonna be no pajamas, because I'm gonna be doing this at home. Okay, so basically, I think one of the most funnest things about Camp Nano is preparing a bag. And it's like anything. Role playing is fun, and it gets you in the mood, and it gets you excited. And if you can make together yourself a kit, or a bag, or pack some stuff together, when the time comes, you can sling it over your shoulder, go into your writing room, unpack everything like you would in a normal camp, and get ready to write and have a fantastic time. Okay, so some of the things that I like to pack in my bag. I like to pack things that I can do my planning, my outlining, any notes I need to take with me at all before the process and during the process, and also to have with me after, if I'm continuing the novel after April, or if I want to continue it later on. I really do like having those things at handy. Okay, so for me, I like to carry around a spiral bound notebook. This has been my Nano notebook for 2 years, and it has the same story in it. So if I was working on a separate story, I would definitely bring a a different notebook. I'm going to be doing a different notebook for April because I have a side story to this, so I don't particularly want it to be in this book. But this is my book where everything goes. And I've also used some post-it notes to tab different things. So, you could just, a lot of people who will watch the following videos will see this as well. So I'm just going to really quickly go through it. The outlining, notes, etc., etc. So pack a notebook that you can make notes, planning, outlining. I go into that in more detail. Also, you might want to pack a little notebook, or this looks big, but something to scribble ideas down on if you are doing the dishes or something and you have an idea and you just want to really, really fastly do that. You can bring this into any room at a house and you don't have to worry about getting this ruined. I would suggest a cheap one because if it gets wet then you're not going to worry too much about it. But something that has ample amount of space that you can just scribble down ideas and jot ideas down. Bring this in your bag, bring it in your handbag, bring it wherever you go during April in case you have any ideas or anything like that. I would suggest that you bring a smaller notebook or a cheap notebook where you're not going to be worried about anything, but you can write down whatever ideas pop into your head at the time. Obviously post-it notes, and bring a pencil case or whatnot with highlighters, pens, post-it notes, correction tape. No, actually don't bring correction tape because you don't want to correct it. Unless you have notes that you're taking down or something like that. But that basically what I'm saying is bring every bit of stationery you have. And the best part about April is that if you if you have some money or if you have some change lying around, I would definitely suggest you use it to go to Officeworks or any office store and buy yourself some fantastic supplies. It's another way to boost your energy as well. Even if it's just getting a packet of highlighters, highlighters are pretty cheap, so it's always fun to bring colour and stationery into experiences like this because it's just vibrant energy. Vibrant colours. I love marking things. I love colour coding things. I think it makes the experience fun. It's not just black and white paper. So, bring a lot of this stuff with you in your bag. Then I would recommend that you bring some reference material. So for me, reference material would probably be, a thesaurus or an English dictionary. Any reference books that you have on the topic that you're researching. I would recommend that you do your research before Nano, but if you're doing it as well, keep all these books close at hand as well. Pack them into your bag because you never know when you might need them. Then I would suggest that if you can, or if you haven't already got any books like this, that's okay. You can find millions of prompts online, print them out, stick them into a binder, which I'll show you in a second. But I like to carry around some prompts in my bag. This is the Writer's Retreat kit. You will see it many times in my videos. This is full of prompts, which is fantastic, and it has different kinds of prompts and different things, like different themes. So there's, I think there's 20 on each card, and there's 20 cards, so that's a lot of prompts. And this kind of kit can definitely come in handy when you're stuck, when you're thinking of something. It definitely jolts you. Prompts can be your best friend, and they're my number one tip, I think, when it comes to sort of having a little bit of writer's block through, or writer's stump, whatever you want to call it, through Nano. Let's go turn on the light, guys. Reading. Bring an extra book to read. And I don't mean reference books, I mean fiction book. That is if you're a reader. If you're a reader like me, it is fantastic to have a break. If you have been writing for 2 hours, sit down, make yourself a cup of tea, or reward yourself. That's another thing, rewards. Pack rewards like hot chocolate, coffee, sachets, lollies, anything. Preferably go for healthy snacks like nut bars, dried fruit, etc. That's another one tip. But make time to relax. And I like to relax by reading because it takes me away from my own story, but I'm still immersed in writing enough that I can relax, and if I need, like after that 15 minutes after I've had my coffee or hot chocolate, I can put the book down and say, oh, you know, this is how these characters work. I wonder how my characters work. Or, you know, wouldn't it be fun, like, you know, if they're in Paris, you know, wouldn't it be fantastic if I took my character to another country? It makes you think about different things and about what you're writing about as well. And not so much as an analytical way that your brain's going to explode, but you kind of subconsciously do it anyway, so it's good to have a book to read and just to relax with a book too. So definitely pack a book or a couple of books that you plan on reading during the month of April into your little backpack, or in my case, large backpack. Then I also suggest, if you can, if you haven't already, or if you have seen my videos, I also do a binder organisation video. I'm not sure if I'm going to link that up, but I have a binder for writing. These are fantastic when you're doing Nano too, because if you're more a visual person, you have all your needs at your own disposal in your little binder. So you could keep all your organisational things in here. I have takeaway menus, I have, you know, legal reference documents, I have prompts, I have everything. I have classes that I've taken, notes that I've taken, my editing, everything to do with first drafts, all that kind of stuff, articles about writing, all goes into here. And it's been a very great resource when I've been writing, when I've been documenting, when I've been learning different things about writing. It all goes into here, and I can always reference it during Nano, Camp Nano or normal Nano. So that is that. I would also recommend, I'm going to actually do a separate video on this, I think, because it's a really important topic to do too, is mindfulness. And I talk about a topic in my videos called Today, and practicing being mindful and practicing being in the now, because a lot of the times you get distracted by dishes or family or anything like that. When you're writing, that's probably the worst thing that can distract you. Other than the internet, family or outside factors can be really distracting, especially if you're in the zone. So I'm going to offer you guys some techniques about how to center yourself, how to be in the now, and how to get your focus back on your novel when you're in a good mood. And I'm also going to talk about incorporating moods into your writing as well. That can help you be productive and also help you in a therapeutic way to vent and use your life situations in your novel so that you can free that negative chatter in your head and turn it into art, and so that it, you know, can get your word count up as well. Definitely that. So that's what I'm going to be talking to you guys about as well. But I would suggest things like, you know, meditation, etc., etc. Just pack some of these if you haven't have anything like that in your at your disposable, candles, etc. Pack them into your bag, because you never know when you're going to need a candle, especially when the lights go out. So yeah, if you are a spiritual person, or even if you're not and you have anything like this, pack it into your bag. Yep, fantastic. Okay. I think the only other thing I would recommend packing into your bag, if you have one, is a planner or a diary. And this is going to go into another hint. Before Nano, make sure that you have done as much as you can possibly do in regards to checking your health, checking your finances, making sure that everybody knows where you're at, what you're doing, what you plan on doing, and make sure everybody knows that you're serious about it. And I don't mean serious as in, okay, I am never going to speak to you again kind of thing. Let them know that you're passionate about writing, and that this is a time that you're taking out of your life to explore that avenue, and just like make sure that people are aware of that, so that they don't kind of go, oh, you know, you're not talking to me and stuff like that, you're such a bad person or something like that. That probably doesn't happen, but I'm just sort of saying, yeah, let people know what you're during. Make sure you're healthy, or make sure you've done all your doctor's checks and stuff like that, because the worst thing that can happen is getting sick during Nano, and sometimes it can't be helped, but it's definitely I've learned from experience, it's definitely a great thing to go to your doctor and get a health check just to see how you are at the start of the month too. And like maybe during the middle of the month as well, because Nano will take a lot out of your health. Like they say, it's a crazy time. You can be sleep deprived, you may eat crappily, but it's a great, I know it sounds horrible, but it's a lot of fun. But it's always good to take care of your health, and yeah, just make sure if there's any goals or anything that you're trying to set, work through those bigger goals, like, mowing the lawn or anything like that. Do it before November, because you don't want to have to think about mowing the lawn while you're writing a novel. And having like a very, like a time like this, you can just sort of, write everything down, cross it off, and be organised, people, if you can. Okay, I think that covers everything that should be in the bag. And I know this video is almost 20 minutes, so I'm going to quickly just tell you a few more things. Like I said, use the prompt system if you can. These are all incorporated into the prompt system. You can go and watch my videos down below. Set an achievable goal that feels right for you. If you feel in your heart that you can write 50k, write 50k. If you feel in your heart that you can write 10k, write 10k. Set an achievable goal to your life and your standards. So if you want to challenge yourself, go for it, and I will be 100% supportive of you. But if you know within yourself that time constraints, busy life schedule, and you can really only fit 10k, but you really want to do this, go for 10k. Go for 5k and then see if you can get to 10k. So set yourself up for an achievable goal. I would recommend warm-ups before Nano as well. So if you have been writing or if you haven't written before, maybe pick a prompt off the computer and have a go at just writing, stream of consciousness, whatever comes, and just get into the rhythm of writing again. I think that's definitely a good thing to do. Beforehand, it is also fantastic to brainstorm. This is my brainstorm. So, brainstorming, you could pick 3 things. Like I picked beaches, love to shop, and death in the family, which has happened to me recently. So and this is taking things from my life. So, I went to the beach and I had seaweed thrown in my face by my mother. So, we watched the sunset, we got a fine for parking, we had fish and chips at the bay, we were hugging and dancing in the water, and we almost lost my sister's glasses in the water. So those are fantastic life experiences. If you document those down, you can use them in your novel. Like, you could probably at least get a couple of pages done by, exploring what happens when someone gets seaweed thrown in their face, etc., etc. Okay. I would recommend researching something you haven't haven't learned before. That's also a great way to prompt you into writing a story if you haven't got any ideas about your story. Research things like legends, urban myths, phenomenons, freaky stories. Look at the mail and stuff like that. I'm going to go into this in my videos. I'm sorry, I'm going very, very fast. Work in your moods, and dedicate a notebook to specific Nano. So I think that I've tapped into everything that I wanted to talk about with you guys, and I think I've gone a little bit too overboard, but for people who haven't watched my videos before, or who are just doing Nano now, have fun, no, it's coming! So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful. I hope I didn't ramble too much, and one more hint. I know it's going to be 20 minutes, okay? Before you think about anything, write a list of things that you like and things that you don't like. Things that you like in reading, things that you like in life. Make a list. Okay? So, things I like are forests, abilities, journeys, small towns, music, testimonies, families, weapons, history, medieval, etc., etc. Fantastic thing to have when you are doing Nano. You can pick one thing and say, oh, I love reading about magic, or I love magic, or watch magic shows. Let's incorporate some magic into my novel, or let's incorporate some sex into my novel, or let's incorporate some food into my novel. Fantastic if you're stuck as well. They're even like prompts but you can base them off things you've learned, things you've gathered, things you've experienced as well. So definitely, and the things that you don't like, sometimes if you're stuck too, you can like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to put a character that likes rambling and overdosing on drugs and violence and stuff like that. So, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, I'm going to go. Okay, alright, bye. Bye. I mean, bye, guys.